What is up, everybody? Welcome. It is Duct Tape Dynasty. We're a couple minutes late. Sorry about that, but we are here nonetheless. Of course. I'm so, inept when it comes to these electronics that I couldn't get the dang thing to work right. And so I had to do a bunch of jumping through hoops, had to reset stuff to get to where hopefully you guys will be able to hear Mike when we bring him on here. But yeah, hey, so let the cat out of the bag, right? I am so pumped. So pumped. First of all, welcome. This is Duct Tape Dynasty. Like I said, I don't have an official name. So for now, I'm just calling myself Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
So we'll just go with that. But anyway, if you guys get a chance, please minimize that screen. Go ahead, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, all those good things. That hooks us up. That helps the algorithm. But hey, look, I've got a guy on here that I'm super excited about. Never had an official guest on the show. We've had family members on the show as guests, but this is the first time we're having a real guest, folks. And this is no slouch, okay? Look, I didn't think this guy would give me the time of day, but he did. He's a Chargers fan, which is awesome. But let me tell you a little bit about him. He's got 6,000 followers on YouTube. We have, I think, 43. So we got, we got a ways to go. Maybe Mike will throw a couple our way, you know. But anyway, over 10,000 on Instagram. But the big one, 160,000 followers on TikTok. I believe this guy might even be making money. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me get him over here. It is our first guest. Welcome, NFL Mike. How are you, brother?
Doing good, trying to make some money. And by the way, live subscriber count, we're up to 50 subscribers right now. It just happened.
Oh, on mine?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
50 over here.
Oh,
yeah,
my gosh. 50. Oh, man, we made it. We made it. Mike, you've officially done it. Bye. Thank you. We've got what we need out of you. Anyway, dude, hey, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time. You are out there in the content game, obviously very busy. I know it's a full-time job. A lot of people think, oh, I can just go post things on the internet and it's just all fun and no work. I know it's a lot of work. So thanks for taking the time to come on here. Hey, tell us a little bit about, I mean, obviously I know who you are and whatnot. Most of the folks who are watching right now I've been telling them about you and the fact that you're coming on. But hey, throw it out there. What is going on with NFL Mike? Who are you? What do you have going on? Give us, hey, hit it all up. What's going on out there?
Yeah, I got out of the military, so like you, I'm also a vet, and I just started making content like this randomly, and it just blew up. And I eventually started to work on editing and stuff like that. So now I'm posting on all platforms. But the biggest things for people that are tuned in, if they want to check me out, is TikTok, like you said, and then the MJT Football Podcast, the show that we host, kind of like this one. So if you like this show, then you probably like my show.
It's good stuff. I like jumping on there and commenting with you guys, and yeah, you guys have got a good thing going. Okay, first guess, right? I already blew it, right? Okay, let me put the other two things that I have written down on here about you. So yeah, 160,000 TikTok followers. Played pro football in Japan, which is pretty awesome. But most importantly, yes, a United States veteran. So first and foremost, my apologies. You see, we've got up in the corner, we got the flag.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for your service. You know, I'm a vet as well. I appreciate it. So you were in the Navy, right? What'd you do?
Yes, sir. I was a sonar tech. I was stationed in Japan for a few years and did some submarine hunting and other stuff.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. And so tell me a little bit about that football. You played football in Japan. What position did you play? Give us the details on that. How long? What?
Yeah, I played corner. I played 3 seasons out there. My high school career ended and I didn't get picked up by any colleges, so I assumed that football was over. But once I got stationed in Japan and got there, one of my buddies, one of the cooks actually, was talking about going to this football tryout. And I thought it was flag football.
Okay.
But it wasn't flag football. But once I found out it was tackle football, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to show up to it. And I, later on found out that it was for the pro team, the local pro team that plays in a league out there called the X League. And that's their pros. That's their version of the pros. So I just went and tried out, made the team. Funny enough, none of my other buddies made the team that even recommended me, but I made the team, and then I played another 30 games or so out there. I played corner. I don't know if I said that at the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
I played corner. Yeah.
And what was your number
It
over
was a
there? I
lot of
can
fun.
barely see it. Were you
I
21?
was 21. Yeah, I was
Okay.
21.
LT, is that
LT.
why? Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good
LT.
move. I can't argue with that.
Dion,
That-
primetime Sanders too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's awesome. You know, that's funny. Our stories are strikingly similar. You know, we talked a few weeks ago, and then, you know, obviously had Easter, and you just bought a house, by the way. Congrats. Mike just bought a
Appreciate
house,
that.
folks. First house, right?
Breaking news. First one,
house.
yeah.
Like closed a few minutes ago. We're going to use, that's the reason we were late. Mike had to sign the papers.
We'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was signing it right here.
That's what it was about. They needed, Mike was giving signatures. So,
that stack of papers.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, so our stories, as I've talked to you more and more, turn out to be strikingly similar. I was stationed in England, and there was literally kind of a tryout for professional baseball. It was the UK's version of professional baseball. And there were a bunch of Americans who were stationed over there, you know, 3 years at a time.
Yeah.
And so we had a little team out there. It was the Cambridge Monarchs. They actually forbid us from going into the paid league. They put because we obviously, as Americans, we went over there, we just dominated. It's about the equivalent of high school baseball. So, you know, with 30-year-old Americans over there, we did pretty well. But they ended up putting a stipulation in place that you had to have been a resident of the UK for 12 years in order to play in their paid league. So I still got to play pro ball over there, but it was non-paid league. But whatever, who cares? It was baseball.
Yeah.
It was fun. So many cool stories, you know, playing against, you know, French people and Belgians. I mean, just all this.
Yeah.
It was way cool, man. Good stuff. So wild how our stories kind of, anyway.
Yeah. The league that I played in was like that too, man, where they didn't let, like, our city's team technically wasn't qualified for their playoffs or their postseason. We were just playing their schedule, so they had another team in the league to play against their pro teams, but they were worried about the same thing because obviously we only lost one game out of the 30 games that I played, so it wouldn't have been very fair.
Yeah, they were, dude. We had games where one time I remember the umpire actually, as I crossed home plate, he said, "Hey guys, like, come on." You know, like, I mean, it was like 30 something to 3 or, you know, anyway, in baseball, you know, so, anyway, well, that's wild how similar our stories are. But like I said, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I know you got a lot going on. So let me tell you a little bit about us. We're basically this show is more or less a NFL pick'em show. It started off, I was like, you know what? I like doing this. I was on a podcast with some other guys, but just due to scheduling and whatnot, it wasn't going to work out anymore. But I love doing the podcast thing. So I was like, you know, I'm going to start something. I started out on Twitch, just doing Thursday nights before the week of football. I'd do, you know, pick 'em, and family started watching and whatnot. And so eventually it turned into, you know, they're commenting and whatnot. And now it turned into a whole family affair where everybody's picking and we see how everybody does. And of course I win. But let me introduce you to what we have termed the Mighty Ducks. It's hard to say. It's the Mighty Ducks, but we can't say Ducks because the Mighty Ducks is franchise, you know, trademark, all that. So we are the Mighty Ducks with the T in there, you know, like the duct tape dynasty. So anyway, let me introduce you to these guys. I'm going to fade them over. I don't know how well you'll be able to see them because, like I said, for those who don't know that are just watching out here, I actually have Mike over here on a cell phone pointed at the computer because I have no idea how to actually give him the feed so he can see what's going on. So
I've got it. I've got it pulled up, but it's about 20 seconds behind.
Yeah,
so.
you know, so, well, there it is. There's the guys. Anyway,
Okay, I see him now. I see him
so
now.
this just goes to show you what a mom and pop. But hey, we're at 50 subscribers now, so I'm gonna have to step up the game. Anyway, so obviously right there, I'm the guy that looks like me with the beard. Next to that, that's my father-in-law. Next to that, the crazy looking guy, that's my brother-in-law. He's really my brother. I mean, even if my wife left me, he'd still be my brother. So whatever. Next guy over now. That guy is a retired '06. He's a colonel. He was an enlisted guy. He's 30 something years in the military. But I tell you what, wait till you see his list, bro.
Oh.
He may be an '06, but his football, it's suspect. Next to that is his kid. That's Bo. That's cousin Bo. And then right next to that is cousin Andrew. We'll get to all their stuff here later on and check all that out. But first, I want to get over to our subjects, our talking points for today. So I don't want to take too much of your time, but I do want to cover some subjects. I got NFL Mike on the line, man. I want to make the most of this. So first and foremost, let's talk the hot ticket items. We're going to talk, as you could see scrolling across, Lamar Jackson's going to be on the list. Rodgers trade's going to be on the list. I do want to talk about Herbert as well. I have a story about Herbert. And a couple other things. So first and foremost, Lamar Jackson trade. Now, this thing's been perplexing. Now, I want to give you kind of my take on it. And then you being the 160,000 follower expert kind of guy, you can tell me if I'm off for a rocker or if maybe I'm onto something here. But my feeling on this, because as weird as this thing has been, I personally think that Lamar and mom, kind of a mom and pop thing. Well, it's mom and son kind of thing. I believe that personally when he went to Baltimore and whatnot, I believe they sat down and Baltimore said, hey, look, Lamar, we want to give you every single thing you're worth. But you've got to understand that I am a person that is, yes, albeit a multi-billionaire or whatever. I didn't get billions by just giving it away. So I want to make sure that I make the right investment. I'm frugal and spend, I want to give you your due, but I don't want to overspend. And so I think it's a mutual agreement to where they said, let's just put you out there and see what the market decides, see what the market gives. And depending upon that, we'll just basically come over the top and say, okay, we'll add a couple extra million, whatever it is. The reason I say that is most recently because of the whole Odell Beckham thing. I mean, dude, why would OBJ go there if Lamar's not going to be there, if the quarterback thing is a question? So what do you think? What is going on with the Lamar trade, the Lamar contract, the Lamar saga?
Well, I think you're exactly right. And I think it backfired a little bit on him as well because no team wants to just go in there and basically negotiate the deal for the Ravens. It felt like the Ravens were like, hey, what could you get if you hit free agency? We'll pay you that. And now all the teams that would be interested if you hit free agency are like, we're not going to tell you and show you our cards of exactly what we'd pay this guy until we can pay him. And I feel that that's what probably stood in the way, or collusion, as a lot of people were going with. I think the thing with OBJ is they're probably telling him like, hey, we got the 22nd overall pick in this year's draft. So worst case scenario, and maybe even they draft someone in the second and third round, we're going to draft somebody if we can't get Lamar to come back. But best case scenario, now you're the wide receiver one on a team that's going to be competing in the AFC with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. And OBJ's, when he sees the number on there, getting $15 million guarantee, which I don't think he could have got with the Jets, the team I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to go to the Jets. I don't think he could have got $15 million out of the Jets. Probably convinced him. He was like, even if it goes completely wrong, I'm here for 1 year of this, and then I'm going to be in free agency pool once again to negotiate another $15 million deal.
Yeah, fair enough. I got to admit, the $15 million, we all were surprised by that. And good for him. I mean, if anybody deserves it, go get your money, OBJ. He deserves it. Whatever. That dude is an absolute stud. I just think that I just don't see OBJ at this point in his career. He just went out to L.A., won that Super Bowl, granted got injured in it. But still, didn't he catch a touchdown in it? I know he at least caught passes. I'm pretty sure he got a touchdown in the Super Bowl, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So,
yeah.
I mean, at this stage in his career, I just don't know that he would go to a team that says, well, yeah, we're working on this Lamar thing, but we might go. I think the Lamar thing is stable. The OBJ thing said to me that Lamar is definitely staying there. That's just my take on it. I've been wrong a lot, but that's just my take on it. So I guess more to come on that. But I think I'm not sure if it was intentional or if it's just the way it went, but the timing on it is impeccable because all the other owners out there, think about it. Am I going to go right now? The draft is the most, it's out there. It's where you could get the cheap Tom Brady, the next Tom Brady for cheap, right? And so are we going to give $200 million for something that we know is pretty good, or do we take our chances in the draft? And then if that doesn't necessarily work out, I mean, Lamar, he may end up playing on a franchise tag. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they knew that. Uh-oh, did I lose myself? I lost my ears.
I'm here. I hear you.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I lost my
All right,
ears
cool.
for some reason. They just went dead on me, but whatever. Hopefully the sound's still going out. They're coming back. Anyway, Lamar, yeah. So I think the timing of it actually really benefits the Ravens because of the fact that now nobody is going out and putting numbers out there. And that's what happened, Mike. My cord. See, this is what we're talking about. Inept.
Yeah.
This is why
Here we are.
we're only at 50 subscribers, okay? Because my cord pulled the volume down. That's why I couldn't hear myself anymore. Jeez. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, dude. Anyway, I think the timing of it was great for Baltimore's perspective because of the fact that nobody's going to go out and I'm just saying what I already said. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Rodgers. We all know it's going to happen. Who knows what the compensation is going to be? If you want to talk about the compensation, you think you got what it possibly could be, go for it. But what do you think? I mean, I think it's going to happen. I think that's a foregone conclusion. What do you think it's going to do for the Jets? Are we talking the Jets are in the Super Bowl, in the conference championship? What are we talking?
Well, I think the biggest thing is going to be Breece Hall's health. If Breece Hall is back to what he was last year as a rookie, or even better, hopefully, is what the Jets are hoping for,
Yeah.
then maybe look out because that offense is going to be really hard to stop. You got to load the box to stop number 20. And when Aaron Rodgers is at quarterback and it's not Joe Flacco or Zach Wilson or Mike White or you name the quarterback for the Jets over the last couple of years, that threat down the field just got a whole lot scarier. And they got weapons.
They do.
They got Garrett Wilson there. They signed Alan Lazard, who obviously is familiar with Aaron Rodgers. They lost Elijah Moore, but he was going to be like a fourth wide receiver on this team.
Didn't they have
and the Jets have a pick too?
Yeah, and didn't they have the defensive and offensive rookies of the year, right? Sauce and William. Who was it?
Yeah,
who was the
they
other
won
one?
it both.
Anyway, but they were doing well without him, but now with so is it Super Bowl or bust? Do they make the how? Give me a prediction. What do you think their record is going to be? I know that's kind of a tough ask, but
yeah, to give like an exact thing, if they got Aaron Rodgers, I think that they'd win games pretty easily.
How many?
Be put 10 games easily,
Okay.
and be a team that's pushing towards 11 and 12, depending on how some games break right or left. Again, Breece Hall's health to me is the biggest thing for them because what he's going to do is give Rodgers a lot of one-on-ones with these receivers outside. Yep. And if Breece Hall is not there, we saw what happened to the Jets. They were like 6-2 or 7-2. Breece Hall goes down, and they lost out almost. I think they only won one more game the rest of the year. This guy is so important to this offense and is going to be important to getting Aaron Rodgers some easy completions. But like you say, that defense is also it's really good.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be really good. They're young. They're hungry. They're led by a coach that has a lot of fire and I think relates to these players really well. I'm excited for the Jets because I do think they can compete for a Super Bowl if everything goes right for them. Now, if it all goes wrong the other way, it's gonna be like a Brett Favre situation. But even if it is a Brett Favre situation with how young the team is, I feel like it's worth it for the Jets to try.
Oh yeah, I mean they're all in
to go for it. I thought that they should have also been in on the Derek Carr deal and any veteran, Matthew Stafford if he became available. This team is young, hungry, ready to win right now, and they're in a spot with their cap and their draft capital where they're going to keep building upon that. So
Yeah.
even after Aaron Rodgers, let's say, the Jets aren't going to necessarily just disappear and go away.
No.
The next season they're
No.
going to be good still.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm a big and I stole this from Pat McAfee. I'm a big Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's kind of guy. Like, I mean, the X's and O's are important. Don't get me wrong. But so much is about the Jimmys and the Joes and what's going on in that locker room and the cohesiveness and the motivation. And I mean, we talk about game momentum and things. Yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers, when he shows up, God knows how he's going to show up. He's going to look like John Wick when he walks in on day one. Is he going to be what outfit's he going to wear? It's going to be awesome. But when he walks into the building, I'm not going to lie to you. If I was running a 4.4, I'm running a 4.2.
Yeah,
I mean,
it changes it.
It's Aaron Rodgers, man. They got a chance.
Let's take a peek early in the season, and everyone that's tuned in that's gonna be watching the games early in the season. Just look at Rodgers' demeanor and stuff. I know he's not going to Florida. He's not getting the weather. He's not getting the retirement feel. But Brady loosened up a ton when he went to Tampa, and I think that actually helped him in the long run of that season. Remember, the Bucs that year, they were struggling the first 10 or 11 weeks or so.
Oh yeah,
the year they won the Super Bowl, and Brady could have easily started yelling at everybody and chewing everyone out, but he kept it calm. He kept it cool. Realized, I'm with a bunch of young guys now. I'm not in New England where they're used to getting yelled at, and put it together at the end of the year. We'll see how Rodgers is treating it in New York, because if he does a similar thing where he kind of loosens up a little bit, he's not as pissed off on the sidelines. He's not chewing out this guy for running the wrong route or calling out this guy in the press conference after the game. He'll look good.
Yeah.
Of the year that his leadership qualities are being not switched or changed, but just slightly to the situation and the scenario he's in now. Because in Green Bay, it was all veterans until recently.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I peg him at 12 wins. That's what I have him at. Yeah. But I mean, we all know. Who knows what an injury is going to do? Whatever. But a healthy, standard, normal season, I've got them at 12 wins. I think they've got a chance. It only takes one game in the playoffs to be done, but they've got a chance. What I fear is going to happen, and I don't want to say it's a hot take, but I bet you if they get to the championship game, they lose in the championship game again. And Rodgers is just left going, dear God, here we go again. But at least he'd be back to the championship game.
And at least he'll have
the conference championship.
At least I had to beat Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and Mahomes this time. It wasn't Brock Purdy on the other sideline that I lost to, or Dak Prescott.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, that division is going to be tough. So
dude,
if you come out of that division, you should be proud already.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is going to be no joke. I mean, yeah, dude, we could talk about that for a while. Hey, let's move on to our quarterback, though. We know you're a Chargers fan. I'm a Chargers fan. I'm wearing our quarterback's jersey. Oh, yes, I love that helmet. What do you think of our quarterback? Tell me about Justin Herbert. What are your thoughts?
I love Herbert, man. You can't really ask for much better. The dude's 6'6", crazy in shape, dynamic, athletic, you name it, and it can also throw the ball 60, 70 yards without any footing. When he's got his footing, he can throw it 75 yards. So I'm a huge fan of Justin Herbert. I think the Chargers lucked out. Yeah. He went to us. He was the third quarterback off the board at the 6th overall pick. That is rare in drafts. I know we're probably going to see it again this year, but to get the maybe best quarterback in the class as the third quarterback off the board, a little bit lucky there. And it's Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow and Herbert, they're kind of going back and forth. You can rank Joe higher for the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl losses if you want, but it doesn't matter how you rank them. Herbert was a lucky pick there, especially considering that the team right before us was
That's
also
what I
going
was
for
gonna say.
quarterback.
It really, I mean, it all came down to the Miami pick. You know, if they pick Tua, we
Came
pick
down
Kirby.
to it.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd probably be happy having Tua, but I am really happy having Herbert. I think he is the answer. He is the
Yeah.
answer. It's just a matter of putting the pieces around him. Philip Rivers, I thought was great. I thought they could have won a Super Bowl, should have won a Super Bowl. We all know how that went. But I put Herbert, at least skills, what I've seen in the first few years, and granted, it's a big difference in years, but I am more impressed with what I see out of him than I want to say I was out of Philip. And it might be, what have you done for me lately? He's the newest thing I've seen. The last memories I have of Philip was in a Colts uniform on his back, doing that, trying to make that tackle. But do you put him above, below, or on par with Philip Rivers so far from what you see?
I'll give my man Philip Rivers the nod still, just because
Okay.
the longevity of Rivers' career at staying at that level for that long of time, and staying a Charger for that long of time, hard enough as it is. But Herbert is definitely the most talented quarterback we've ever had already. The brightest star we've ever had, I guess,
Heck
at
yeah.
once yet. I mean, you go open up the single season passing records by Charger right now. They all are owned by number 10 already.
Yep. Yep. I love what the kid's doing. I hope he's a Charger forever. I hope he stays healthy forever. And I hope he wins 30 Super Bowls for us.
Or start
Yeah.
with one, please.
Yeah, let's just how about get to a Super Bowl? It's been
Let's get there.
1990 something.
Let's get to round two.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Right. We're not doing much better than the Cowboys. Actually, there is a comment here that I do want to comment on. So I went to Montana State University, and believe it or not, Justin Herbert, and I should have phrased this differently because I wanted to phrase it as a question and then be like, surprise, but now I blew it. Justin Herbert, he went to Oregon, but before Oregon offered, he was actually, because of his brother, he was on his way to Montana State University. So
Great.
I still claim him as a Montana State University guy, even though he went to Oregon. And so pretty much I consider him like my second cousin. So
Probably doesn't go 6 overall out of Montana State.
Probably not. Probably not. But me considering him a Montana State Bobcat allows me to say that he's my second cousin, and that just sounds cool. So that might get us to 51 subscribers. Anyway, all right, dude. Okay, what else did we have? We had Herbert. Oh, I'm gonna skip over one. I was gonna say the draft, but we're getting long in the tooth already. The Super Bowl question I wanted to ask, and I asked it on your show, but I want to ask it here as well. Brandon Staley, can he win the Chargers a Super Bowl? Can the Chargers win a Super Bowl with him? And will they?
I'm not going to say can't, because anyone can. I mean, me and you can, technically.
Sure. Yeah.
But will he? I'll say so. I'm kind of holding out hope. I think that the move by Kellen Moore signals that they're willing to be patient with Staley and give him some time and watch this offense develop into Kellen Moore's offense. But if it doesn't pick up and we don't advance at least to the second round and improve from there each year, because the team now sees what they have at quarterback and they expect to be competing for the Super Bowl, not competing for the playoff spot just to lose in the first round. Like it feels like the Chargers have been doing since, we had that 1 year in 2018, but other than that, since 2000, early 2010s. So I think that they're going to wait it out. They're going to be patient. They're going to let him get through this season. And if it goes well again, Chargers make the playoffs, he's going to stick around for a year after that. But if the Chargers aren't talking about Super Bowl and they're not advancing in the next 2 years, I think that Kellen Moore is going to be the new head coach. And then maybe that will be the year and the time period where the Chargers are actually in the race for the Super Bowl. The thing about Brandon Staley, and I like the guy as a leader, and it's a lot like the Anthony Lynn situation where you just love the guy to death.
Yeah,
this is a great family man. You could tell every single player loves him. He's going to be lifelong friends with these guys forever. And you hate that it's going this way, but it's the NFL and it's, wins or fired. There's no in
Absolutely.
between for NFL head coaches. You can't have a defensive minded head coach where the offense is supposed to be the strength of the team because we had the superstar quarterback and the defense is as bad as it's been since Staley's been the coach of the Chargers. It's just a recipe for disaster, or I should at least say it's not a recipe to win, especially come playoff time when the defense is lacking and you don't even have that offensive supermind, running the team like, they have in KC with Andy Reid or they've had in
Oh,
other places and been able to make it work. So even with bad defenses, KC's been able to make it work.
yep.
So I think that's what the Chargers are thinking right now, where they're going to slow play Brandon Staley, get used to Kellen Moore, and if there is a move that needs to happen in the next couple of years, you've already got a guy that's a candidate on the team.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
We'll see.
I
But can he win a Super Bowl? Yeah, he
Sure,
can.
why not, right? Anybody can. And I'll agree.
Anyone can.
It can happen. I don't think it will happen, although he is headed in the right direction. Not this past year, but the year before was the year that we lost to the Raiders to have a chance to go to just to the playoffs. And what we blew, like, we went for it on like 3 4th downs that were like on the goal line. And I get it, but I made a satirical video that I never posted about Brandon Staley, and it involved this little book, and it had football statistics. And I sat there and explained how statistics actually work because it was ticking me off so bad that Brandon Staley always just went, well, the statistics say that if we go for it here, we should get it. Anyway, so 2 years ago, he was the 4th down, go for it guy. He seemed to have learned last year, and he started that way, but it appeared like maybe somebody got his ear. If he goes backwards, and he goes back to we're going for it on every 4th down unless otherwise determined, I think he's gone this year, after this year.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it'll go well. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. But if he continues to improve, which I think he's doing, I think they've got a chance to do some good stuff. Although give me Andy Reid, give me the Phil Jackson of the NFL, and I'll take it over Staley. But I think he can, but I don't think he will. So
the biggest thing for me, man, and that's what's got me out on him completely, is the inconsistency.
Yeah.
It's like 1 week in Cleveland, for example, when they went for it on 4th and 2, and then they shanked the field goal, and we somehow hold on and win the game. We go for it on 4th and 2, and the explanation at the press conference at the microphone is the same explanation we got for the stuff the season before. We have Justin Herbert. I believe in Justin Herbert to get me those 2 yards. And if it doesn't work out, at least I know that I bet in my best player. But then you flash forward to the playoff game. It's 4th and 3. You've got a kicker off the streets. And you go for the field goal, miss the field goal.
Yep.
And that's all we needed to hold on to that lead was that field goal or, that 4th down conversion. If you believe in your best player to get 2 or 3 yards in the biggest moment of the season.
Yep.
And that's the part that hurts me watching the games and seeing Staley, especially within the back of my mind. I know how inexperienced he is. This is his first time as a head coach in the NFL, and he became a head coach within his first 5 years in the NFL. I think he's past that 5-year mark now.
Yep.
But when he got hired, he was still within 5 years of like the date that he got hired the first time. I remember that stat going around. And to know that in the back of my mind, that scares me. Because now we don't even have like a philosophy that we're going by. Even if it is, let's go for it every single time. At least I can expect that out of you. That is the mold of the football team. But when you start to pull it one time and then not pull the lever the next time, now we just don't know what the mindset is going into any given play call or play.
And I'm taking that as learning, maybe a bit of hopeful thinking there. I'm saying he's
the last
learning,
game.
but
we had the problem in the last game.
And then I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because the fact of the matter is, game 1, he's our coach, so I'm hoping for the best.
and we didn't win every single game because we were injured, really injured. But that stretch of games in the middle of last year, it was San Fran, Miami, Tennessee, I want to say, maybe it was Atlanta or something, where the defense just all of a sudden, Kyle Van Noy was a superstar, and the defense was amazing without Joey Bosa. If we get that every week next year, then we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what they need to focus on.
Yeah, you bet.
That defensive play for those 4 or 5 weeks that we had, that's what we need. But other than that, the defense has been, terrible. The defense has been terrible on the ground and been all right against the pass.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, geez, dude, I like this. We are talking. We are rolling. This is good. This means we feed off of each other. I got to keep us rolling here, though. I do want to get to this little Twitter thing. I was thinking about skipping it, but hey, we're going to do it anyway. It's a Twitter thing from Pro Football Focus that came out. It said, who's the best running back since the 2000s? And it has 6 pictures. One of them's actually blank, but the names that are up there, the people are, I think we've got Peterson, Tomlinson, Henry. Let's see. I have it listed on here. Wait. Oh, Lynch and Gore. So those are the 5 that are listed, and then it says, or someone else. So I know we're Chargers fans, but I honestly think, I think LT, even if I wasn't a Chargers fan, holds that.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, it's LT to me.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy on longevity, though. A very good career for a running back. So I would give Frank Gore some kind of shout out, in my take. But
honorable mention.
Okay. Honorable mention.
So, all right. Well, let's keep moving here. Let's go to our Charger vault, as I say. All right. First question for you, Mike. We're in the Chargers questions. And by the way, the theme of the show today, although it's going to end up being just a small segment of it, is Mount Rushmore greatest Charger players ever. So we will get to that. We have everybody's picks that we will go through. But first and foremost, I want to go through a few quick questions. Number 1, these are supposed to be kind of rapid fire. Who is your favorite Charger player of ever? Can be
of all time?
You can do all time and current, or you can just do whatever you think.
Okay, I'll just give you both. My current is Derwin James. My all-timer is Phillip Rivers. And my guilty favorite of all time is Danny Woodhead.
Really? LT's not your favorite of all time?
Phillip Rivers is my favorite of all time, technically, because I watched him throughout my entire teenage years and everything. LT was on his way out when I was kind of just like I grew up on LT. When I was really getting into football and playing football myself, it was Phillip Rivers and Ryan Matthews and Danny Woodhead.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. That's respectable. Not going to argue with that. I tell you what, Phillip Rivers mic'd up is golden. He's phenomenal on his mic'd up. All right, so here we go. Your favorite Charger memory. It can be on field, it can be off field, it can involve you, it can whatever. Favorite Charger memory.
Oh man, favorite Charger memory?
Yeah.
I think when they drafted Derwin.
Okay.
That's what I'll say my favorite memory is. Because I just remember telling all my friends, like, this guy, he should be the first overall pick. And I was getting called crazy. I did not think we had a chance.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go, like, at 12 or 8 or somewhere in there. And I was saying, that's ridiculous. He should be the first overall pick. He's that good of a safety. And I don't remember who was the first pick that year. It's probably a quarterback.
I don't even know.
But when he fell to us at 17, I haven't celebrated like that for a draft pick.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right. That is
I
good.
still think he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Hey, there's time, baby. There's time. All right. Let's see. Let's go to our 4th question here. What is it? No. Actually, the 3rd question. Sorry. Let me go to this one. Your favorite forgive me. Your favorite Charger item or possession. So kind of trinket, jersey, hat, whatever.
I have it's not really old, but it's my first jersey I ever owned. I still have it. It's an Antonio Gates jersey. It's in the closet. I think I'll go with that, but I also have Samuel Jr. signed helmet. It's one of my favorites too.
That's good. That's not
Yeah,
bad. That's not bad. I'm
yeah.
waiting to get a real helmet someday. I have the mini helmets. Actually, here's one. 2019, I decided, we're in the office. I had office space, whatever. I decided I'm going to buy every NFL's mini helmet, every NFL team's mini helmet. And throughout the season, I'm going to set them up and arrange them as the standings change and all that. And all the divisions will be all organized all year. Spent a lot of money on those, Mike. And then COVID hit. And now I work from
Oof,
home. So I have
oof.
32 NFL mini helmets in my closet. It's awesome.
Well, that's a great idea. Actually, I might execute that.
Well, and let me know if you need some helmets. I've got 32
Yeah,
of
I
them.
might steal those. Might steal those off you and do the
Yeah.
exact same idea.
Yeah. So, well, I want to, okay. So this is me. This is my flex. Okay. I'm just going to come out and say it. So my favorite Charger item is, I was on an airplane back in the day. I was actually on my way to a funeral and I was in full military uniform because the funeral was the next day, and I didn't want them to lose my luggage. If I'm wearing it, they can't lose it, right?
Can't lose it.
Anyway,
There
get
you
to
go.
talking to this guy, and he's asking all these questions about the military, all this stuff. Just, I mean, big old dude. Big old dude. Um, anyway, we end up talking the whole flight, couple hours, great conversation about life, about this, everything. He stands up at the end of the flight, and I mean, the dude was bigger than he already was. He's just enormous, enormous man. And I said, "You play football, don't you?" Because he was
Yeah.
wearing some pants from a college. And he said, "Yeah," and we get to talking. It was Russell Okung, who,
What?
yeah, from OSU. Now the funny thing was,
Cool.
we had just moved from England not too long ago, and we due to just my job and where things are located, the headquarters for my job and all that. We're going to end up spending most of our military career in Oklahoma. So we're going to have to adopt a team, right? And we
Mhm.
had this conversation. Then I end up on this airplane with this guy, and he plays for OSU. So we're now OSU fans and whatnot. He ends up giving us tickets to a game. We
There you
go.
go.
I mean, it's so many cool things. But he ends up getting put on the Chargers, and so I hit him up, and I'm like, "Bro, you're on my team, any chance?" And he did. He hooked it up. He hooked it up. He gave me,
There it is.
yes, his
Look, he's making a comeback right now too. Did you
yeah,
see that?
yeah,
Yeah, he's working on a comeback. He's in super good shape again. He's getting ready to try and get back in
dude,
the league.
he's
Injuries,
tiny.
injuries,
He's
injuries
thin.
destroyed him.
Yeah,
Injuries destroyed him.
but he signed this
Oh,
puppy for me. It
that's
was,
so cool.
yeah,
That's so
it
cool.
was awesome.
I need to get me one of those, man. Me and Derwin actually are mutuals on social media.
Oh,
So
what, bro? Well,
like
you are big
at the
time,
games, at the games and stuff, I try and message him. Only at the Pro Bowl was he actually able to come hang out though and say what's
man.
up.
That's cool. That's way cool.
Yeah,
All right, so now I
he
need to
was
make a trip to
probably not
LA.
supposed to tell anyone. Yeah, but the 50 subscribers, I'll tell it here. I'll tell the secret. At the Pro Bowl, Derwin was taking shots with us on the
Oh,
sideline.
no. By the way, okay.
Derwin was taking shots with us during the Pro Bowl.
But
To the sideline, and we'd hand it down to the field
oh
to him.
my gosh, Mike. Oh
He
my
looked both
gosh.
ways and hit
Oh my
it.
gosh. See, this is that. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That is too funny. That
One in
is.
Vegas.
Oh man. Oh my gosh, I had a thought, but now I lost it. That's good. That's funny.
He's a good dude, man. He's a good
Yeah,
dude. You can tell.
that's awesome. I mean, it's so. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Those are good stories, man. I like it. I like it. So let's get to let's go through the Ducks, our guys. We're going to check out their picks for their top Chargers of all time. Now, this is the Mount Rushmore Chargers. So it's top four, no particular order. First up is Andrew. Now, Andrew, I mentioned we're a pick'em show, and Andrew actually made a comment in here, and it says, "Please don't bring up my 0-3 Super Bowl." So allow me to tell you about the fact that going into the Super Bowl, we were very close in points as to who was going to win the year. Andrew had a chance at it, and he went 0-3. And so Andrew went from possibly first to last. So sorry, Andrew, I sold you out, brother. He
Wait,
may.
wait, wait, wait. Aren't the Vikings 0-3 in Super Bowls? Not 100% sure.
Oh my
For
gosh.
sure.
Sorry, I
Off
keep
the
coughing. We or allergies. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
I feel for you though, Andrew. Those Vikings teams are crazy. They played in a bunch of Super Bowls back in the
Yeah,
day.
just can't get it done.
Just couldn't get it
Anyway,
done.
his list. Let's go through it. We've got Antonio Gates. Can't argue there. Got Lance Allworth. Now that feels like that might have been a internet search. Junior Seau and LaDainian Tomlinson. Andrew is the youngest of us, so the fact that he has he has that name on there, Lance Allworth, says to me that may have been like I said, a internet search. Anyway, what do you think of his list? I think those are some good names on there. If you can only pick
Yeah,
four, that's respectable.
very very similar list to mine. Maybe he studied his history, you know? I know a little bit of Lance Altworth history myself. I know he left the Chargers and played 1 year in Dallas and won a Super Bowl. 1 year.
At least he got a Super Bowl.
He left us just to get a Super Bowl and then retired.
Oh man, it. Yeah, I'd like him to come in. I'd like so many people who have left and got Super Bowls, Drew Brees, all those types of people. I would just wish those could have stayed with us. But anyway, all right. Let's
Put it on our trophy.
let's move on to Bo. Oh, by the way, if we ever win a Super Bowl, I'm moving to LA. All right, so Bo, this is Bo, second youngest. He's got LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, Junior Seau. No surprises there. What is the last one? Philip Rivers. So you definitely are on board with that. Any arguments or questions on this list?
No, I think that
Respectable.
you can go a couple different ways with this. There is some names that haven't made the list yet that could make it still though.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one.
Let's see.
There's one. I think I've got it on my list. We'll see. So anyway, all right. Now we're gonna go to Dave. Now look at this guy. Do you see his face? This guy's a little
I see it.
crazy. He's a little wild.
He looks a little wild.
Yeah. So anyway, you'll see he's got a name on here and I'm stalling so that it comes by. I think it's next. Here it is. Right after LaDainian Tomlinson, Sean Merriman is on his list.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone. Junior Seau and Antonio Gates. Yeah.
Dan Fouts.
Yeah. Dave is definitely one to give some shock factor out there. So he throws a Sean Merriman on there, and based on the look on his face, it may have just been a shocker pick.
Yeah,
It's
I would argue putting Rodney Harrison over Merriman. I can see why he put Merriman though, because Merriman kind of was like a Charger celebrity.
he
A lot of
was.
people don't realize his prime playing with us was extremely
It
short,
was.
but his energy and his brand off the field, people knew him.
Oh yeah. I actually have a Merriman jersey.
Yeah, I do too. I have a
yeah.
nice one. I
Yeah.
have one of those nice navy blue ones. That's one of my favorites.
Yes. I've got the powder blue one. So actually, you know what? That was one of the questions that I skipped from up above. I do want to ask you, what's the best Charger uniform that's out there right now? Which one?
Personally, I've always liked the all whites, but the baby blue ranks number one in the entire league. It
Yeah.
doesn't even just rank number one on the Chargers. But I like all white. I don't know why. It's just I like the way the all whites look, but
Okay.
every team has all white. So
Yeah.
baby blue is a choice. Dang man, Sean Merriman and I were actually supposed to make a TikTok together too, where we were
Bro.
like fighting off Raiders fans, but it didn't end up coming to fruition. Maybe next year.
Holy Mike, I'm gonna have to keep you close, man. You're a celebrity, bro. You're full
There's
blown.
only one Chargers fan on TikTok. There's only one Chargers fan.
Two. Anyway,
Two.
two
Yeah,
now, but
two.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So wow, that would have been cool, man. But actually, one of the things I was going to mention as well, you actually had Ian Rappaport on your program, didn't you?
Yeah, I did an interview with Mike also. I have his hat over here he gave me.
Nice,
And Dalvin Cook, and
bro.
I haven't gotten on with Derwin yet, but I met with him. A couple other players, smaller players.
How many games
Yeah,
do you go to in a year?
I try to go to as many as I can because that's also another thing is being the only Chargers fan that people know on TikTok is like whenever they have tickets and it falls through or they get tickets somehow, I got 160,000 people like are just like ticket recruits for me.
Oh, dude.
That just send them
Yes.
my way. So I don't even have season tickets, but everyone thinks I do. Every week I just sit in a new seat in that stadium somewhere.
Well, I tell you what, dude, I've got family in LA, so I'm coming to visit. So
Okay,
just so
there
you
you go.
know,
There
just
you
so
go.
you
Well, we
know.
can go to Thunder Alley. Go to
Hey,
Thunder Alley as a big happy Charger family.
dude, whatever. I'd love all of it. So let's move on. Here comes the Colonel now. Let's see what is on his list. He's got LaDainian Tomlinson. Antonio Gates is coming through. I've got my scroll set a little slow here. Junior Seau, okay. Familiar names, all well. And then Rodney
Oh, there's
Harrison.
Rodney Harrison. There he
Yes.
is.
So now that one, if you notice, I don't know if you can tell, he's wearing a Broncos jersey. So that one, I believe, didn't he play with the Broncos a little bit? Did
Rodney Harrison?
Yeah.
I think he was Patriots. It was his
No,
second
no, no.
team.
Oh my gosh, who am I thinking of?
Who are you thinking of?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Why did I say
Huh.
that? Anyway, all right.
Oh.
Well, let's just move on then. So yeah, Rodney Harrison is the not an oddball on his list, but it's just the one we haven't seen yet. I think it's respectable. Let's go with here comes the father-in-law. He's got Lance Allworth, LaDainian Tomlinson. Now I've got a big space. Dan Fouts, there's the one. I've been waiting for that one to show up. And Junior Seau. I like that
There you
list.
go.
I like that list. That's a
Yeah.
pretty solid list. Anything wrong with that? Anything missing from it?
No, I think that's a solid one right there. Yeah, I like it.
All
I
right.
like it.
Last, not least, hopefully, is mine. I've got Gates, Seau, Tomlinson, and I believe I put Fouts on there.
Okay.
So let's see it come through. Yes, there's Dan Fouts as well. So very similar list. That might actually be the same list. But let's see. Whoops. I needed to put another one. Sorry. Let me do this. Let me do this. And let me do. Sorry, brother.
All good.
I didn't have something set up. So now I faded back to where I need to be. But so with that said, there is our list. I want to hear your list, your Mount Rushmore, and we'll even give you an honorable mention if you want it. So
Oh, okay,
up to
yeah.
5.
I'll go with my honorable mention and give it to Gates and Seau. They both deserve
Okay.
a spot. It's just there's not enough spots on the board. But Lance Allworth's on mine.
Yep.
I feel like if you talk about that era, Lance Allworth kind of revolutionized wide receiving in the NFL, or one of the guys that did. LaDainian Tomlinson is obviously on mine, and Phillip Rivers is on mine. And then I wanted to encapsulate the Fouts, Winslow era, and that entire era of football that we went through. So I went with the coach, actually.
Oh.
I'm going to put Don Coryell, Air Coryell, on the Mount Rushmore as well.
Okay.
There
Okay.
you go.
I like that. Hey, nice. Nice work.
New Hall of
This
Famer,
guy-
2023.
yeah. Of course, Mike would throw one out there that nobody else has. This guy's a professional. This guy's a professional. Well, dude, I tell you what, I cannot thank you enough. This
Of
has
course.
been absolutely awesome. I appreciate you taking the time.
You're gonna get a message from me because I have a Chargers podcast also, just for the Chargers fans. But we'll have you on, man.
Hey, dude, and we would love to have you back sometime. I do want to let me real quick before we jump out of here. I don't know how long we've been going, but we've been going a while. It looks like an hour. So thank you again for all that time. I think I quoted Mike. It'll be 10, 15 minutes tops. It's at 57, 39, 40. Anyway, we've got.
That's what happens when you get two vets together, man. That's what
Yeah,
happens.
bro. That and Charger fans, there's not many of us out there, so it's
Right,
easy to talk
right.
for a while. It's pent up because you can't talk to anybody about the Chargers, especially not in
Exactly.
Oklahoma, dude. Anyway, so we have a bunch of people saying thank you for your service. So I know we said that out at the beginning, but yes,
Appreciate that.
Our chat says thank you as well, and I will reiterate thanks again. And let's see. Let me see if we've got any questions out here. We've got Andrew not being happy that I called him out. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. Okay, so forgive me, guys. I tried to scroll through the comments real quick, but I don't want to waste Mike's time as I read slowly because I'm a slow reader. So, dude, I hope that someday you will come back and be on this show again.
Of course.
Feel free, if any of your 6,000 subscribers get bored with you, just send them our way. Or you know, if you want to share. No, I'm kidding. But
yeah,
no,
well, the best time is just when we're live and you're in that chat, man. I'll just give you a quick shout out, like, hey, everyone, hit them real quick.
And
I think they can tap you from there. Like they can just tap you and then subscribe.
Oh, that's sweet. And I was kind of playing with you there, but yeah, I appreciate you coming on here. I mean, that's more than enough. I'm not asking you to go out and recruit for us, but no, like I said, I appreciate it. I hope you'll come back sometime. We do have what we call I term the Fun Fuchsia Football Facts, which is it's just something that scrolls by in the credits. It'll be you won't be able to read it, but you can check it out later. But let me jump over to that, Mike, and then I will mute us. I'll give you a goodbye. We'll have some music going, and we'll jump off the phone. Does that work for you? Any final thoughts before we go?
No, that's all. I had a good time. I appreciate you guys having me, and thanks everyone in the chat for tuning in.
Dude, you are the absolute best. Our first ever guest, NFL Mike. This guy is big time, and we can't thank you enough for being on with us. Mike, here comes some music, brother, and we're going to get out of here. Let's see it.